Hey, Kevin.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you doing, man?
Yeah, fantastic, thank you.
You're coming to do some stand-up.
I am.
I always forget that you do stand-up. I don't know why.
I don't either. I hear that sometimes, and I think, wow, stand-up is really what I do. It's my forte, and the other stuff is just secondary, you know.
Well, you've had specials on Showtime, right?
Yeah, I did a special a couple years ago on Showtime, and I just, in fact, taped one on Friday for my second special, which will be on this summer sometime.
Nice.
Boy, oh boy.
Well, I was reading how finicky you are about your stand-up, so maybe you don't just litter the world. Like, you're not littered all over Comedy Central, are you?
No. In fact, I'm with you. I wonder. I say, how do these comics come out with so many stand-up specials so often? But when you watch them, you kind of see, you know.
Yeah, some of them are very funny. So you're the fussy stand-up. You wait till you have some really good material, and then you get it out there.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before, but yeah, you're right. I'm very picky, and I think if I really let myself have my way, I would never do them because it's like I never think it's good enough.
Yeah, I think it's good to be that way, though. It keeps the standards up. If only everyone felt that way.
I guess so, but, you know.
So this leaves me expecting a hell of a show on the 16th of March.
No, you'll get a show that I think is not that good.
What do you hit on during your stand-up? What do you take on?
Currently, I've been talking about some fears in life, you know, things that are out of my control, and kind of, you know, I think stand-up is a lot like being a blues musician. You have to kind of live life a little bit in order to write about it.
Yeah, absolutely true.
So I think that to have it soulful, you need that. So a lot of my comedy kind of deals with what I'm going through right now. It's kind of my life and kind of twisted and exaggerated and embellished a little bit. So I talk about my fears. You know, I had surgery recently on my arm. I tore a muscle and kind of what went along with that.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Things beyond my control, like natural disasters, you know, like tsunamis and tornadoes. I talk about, like, you know, that tsunami that hit in Sri Lanka a while back. You know, nobody knew that was coming except for the animals. They have like a sixth sense, and they took off for the hills the day before, and they escaped, and they didn't tell anybody else. You know, they kept it to themselves.
That's right.
So I have a whole newfound respect for animals now. Like now, for example, when I see a dog, like, chasing a car, I will chase that car, too. Because I don't know what's up. You know, I don't want to look stupid the next day. So, you know, I talk about that kind of stuff, you know, how I'm affected by things out of my control. And then, you know, I talk about, you know, a lot of absurd reasoning and rationalizing.
I think I can imagine. You don't have to tell us the whole show, by the way.
It sounds great. And that's so true about animals, too. With birds and all that stuff that have that incredible sense. They really do know about the storms coming and disasters like that. It's a fact, actually.
Yeah, although some of them, you know, they're caged, so they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, that's right. I just think they're misbehaving for some reason, that they're in mating season or something.
I have two dogs, Kevin, and I really do give them a lot of respect. Like, when I let them out, and we have an electric fence, but a lot of times I take their collars off and just kind of let them go, which I shouldn't. But anyway, one of them will come back, and I'm like, okay, where's the other one? Where's Mag? You know, expecting the dog will lead me to the other dog.
Yeah, I know.
And actually, they do sometimes. So I think animals should be respected.
Or you'll find the second dog impaled on the electric fence, just
It's like, you know, when there's a tornado and you have, like, cows. Cows have nowhere to go. So if you're inside, do you hear, like, the cows outside getting picked up by the tornado? All you hear is, like, moo.
And Kevin, you got to wonder, looking at cows, if they did have somewhere to go, would they go there? Would they bother? Would they care?
It would take them so long.
It would.
They're probably thinking, you know what, it might be better for me to exit with this tornado than hang out in this pasture for the rest of my life.
Yeah, very true. Hey, we were going over all your stuff, and there certainly is a lot of it, but we're big Curb Your Enthusiasm fans, and I did remember you being on Curb. I just couldn't remember what was your purpose on Curb Your Enthusiasm, the episode you were on.
Yeah, I was in the episode where I was my wife's father was a failed kamikaze pilot.
Oh, that was your wife's father. Okay.
Yes, and I was having a poker game at my house with Larry and everybody, and I got the news that my wife's brother tried to commit suicide and was in the hospital because he was embarrassed that that Larry had mentioned that his father was a failed kamikaze pilot.
How ironic.
So the situation was, do they all take off and leave the poker game? while I'm at the hospital, or do they stay there and continue to play and have fun? And they came to the conclusion, since they're already there, the pizza's there, why bother and go home?
Of course.
Do you like that style where, because we keep hearing from everybody that's on that show about that, Larry has kind of an outline, and it's very much improv and in the moment, and do you enjoy that sort of a
I really do. I do, because I think most people that have come from a comedic background enjoys that. But in fact, after doing that, and then having to go back to a scripted show, it was kind of a drag, because you had so much fun improvising, and then to go back to a written word script was a little
confining.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
since you've been off Saturday Night Live, what do you have any favorite cast members or bits or things like that? I'm sure you probably don't watch it, hang on every word every week, but anything you've really liked on the show since you left?
I like the Melissa McCarthy episode when she was on.
Was the host? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan of hers, and I don't watch it a lot, so I really don't. I'm not up on all the cast members. Like Fred Armisen is great. I like him. They're all pretty good on there. Kristen Wiig is great.
Yeah, she is.
But yeah, it's a fun show. It's just one of those perennial shows that it's an institution now. It's been around for so long.
Yeah, I think they've had a really funny stretch lately. I've been pretty impressed, because I'm pretty snobby about it. I love the original show. I love the guys you were with, like Dennis Miller and Adam Sandler. And boy, Adam's been good for you. I noticed you've made it into a lot of Adam's movies.
Yeah, I've done quite a few of those.
Boy, oh boy!
You know what? Every time he writes me into something, it's like a humiliating part. I'm playing either like the gatekeeper of hell with breasts on my head, or I'm playing. I have to play a lawyer. I think what he does is he thinks of a way to humiliate me, and then he writes a script around it.
He does generate some movie. I mean, he generates movies like Daniel Steele generates romance novels. That dude just cranks them out.
Yeah, he does.
You really made the right friends on Saturday Night Live, it would appear.
I guess so.
Yeah. I mean, I got to wonder about, somebody maybe in your cast who decided, that his best buddy was, cast member B, for example, who really hasn't done anything in the movies, if they're going, God, why didn't I hang out with Sandler when I was on there?
So true.
Well, it's an interesting phase in your life when you're on that show, because there's just so much going on. That's, you have this great opportunity to become a big star or to do something really worthwhile, writing wise, and time just goes by so quickly. You just try to survive. Yeah,
it sounds really, really tough, but got to be very satisfying too to have been on there for 9 years.
Yeah, I loved it as a gig, as a job. I thought, this is a great profession. I'm not looking at it as a stepping stone to get somewhere else. And a lot of people come on there and they get frustrated because they want to break out in the first year or whatever. And I'm just like happy to be living in New York and happy to be working on the cast and with different hosts and musicians. I got to meet so many of my idols when I was growing up, musician-wise. Like Eric Clapton and Mick Jagger, Paul McCartney. I mean, it was endless.
God, that is amazing.
Oh, man, you're not kidding.
By the way, when you started on Weeds, and I really was a huge Weeds watcher, I still watch it occasionally, but a great show. Anyway, when I first saw the show, and I was just reading about you, which is why I had to point this out, you're playing the stoner accountant guy, and I'm like, oh, Kevin, I bet he's a huge stoner. That makes total sense. And then I just read that you don't smoke pot, and it really took me back a little bit, because I thought for sure you were a huge stoner, just based on the show.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people think that. They come to my show and they think...
a lot of pot humor?
Yeah, pot humor, or they want to smoke doobies with me afterwards, and they hand me pot, and I say, I really don't smoke pot, but thanks. And they're kind of surprised. But, I'm sure, like, when The Sopranos went out, nobody came up to them, like, at a restaurant with, like, a .38 caliber, and, hey, you want to whack a few people after your steak, But I've never really been a druggie, I've been offered tons of coke in the 80s and 90s at, a lot of these comedy clubs, and, at the time I had a bad self-image, and they would always bring it out on a mirror, so I didn't want to see myself in the mirror. If they brought it out on a breadboard, I'd probably be a cokehead today.
No, but, and the other people on the show, there's some that I take that view of and some that I don't, but I guess it's a compliment to your acting.
I guess so. Of course I've seen a lot of pot throughout my life, and, I've watched people smoke pot, and so, I know how it's done. Yeah,
of course. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen a lot of stoned people. You know what they look like. You know how stupid they act. So,
also, we had some consultants on that show that were, huge potheads, and they ran medical marijuana plants, and they would bring in apparatus that I've never heard of before, that like how to smoke pot and how to do this and that.
I don't live in California, but having read about medical marijuana, which has become a pretty big issue in Michigan, it sounds like a big joke out there. Like there's just a million places you can get scripts and pot, and it's really just, it's not really about the medicinal part, is it? I mean, has that become kind of a joke out there?
I'm sure for some people it is. But I think probably 80% of the people get a script from their doctor because they're depressed or whatever, So it is kind of become a joke in that way.
And there's certain parts of town, like I guess Venice Beach, don't they have a bunch of just a string of medicinal pot places?
I see them all the time. There's more medical marijuana outlets here than there are Starbucks, and
wow.
They're usually, to kind of give you an idea, they're located usually next to the bail bondsman places. Cash
checking. Places. Yeah, right. Well, it's got to be good for the economy, I would think.
I don't know. I don't know how much is spent on that, but.
I mean, do a lot of people complain about that? The fact that it's taken off like that, is that a big issue out there?
Not that I've heard of. Nobody's really complained about it. So maybe it's just the right amount of outlet for people who are disenchanted with the laws. They can get around it.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's certainly. And we're having some of those same things here, but whatever. I mean, pot is...
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I mean, in a perfect world, nobody would have to get drunk or stoned,
Yeah, perfect world. Boy, I don't know if we'll ever find that perfect world, unfortunately.
I know it.
Seems unlikely at this point. People seem pretty determined to catch some kind of a buzz.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm not against, I mean, I have a drink once in a while, but, I don't get hammered like I used to on weekends,
Oh, I know. God, I can't believe I survived some of the things that, cause I don't drink much at all anymore, but I don't mind having a drink or two now and again, but Jesus, when I think back to college days, oh my God, how did something not happen? God,
I know it. I mean, it just takes too long to recover now. That's
definitely.
Yeah.
The recovery time is enormous.
And then, losing cars and stuff, like not remembering where the car's parked the next day. I mean, that's just really, that's pretty scary stuff.
Yeah. And the worst is when your friends are drinkers now and you're not drinking, and it's just not fun to be around someone who's drunk all the time.
No, it sure doesn't hold the same appeal, does it?
No. And then there was a period of time when I had friends that were drinking too much and they had to go to AA. And so I ended up drinking alone because my friends didn't pace themselves.
Hey, Kevin, you play? Did you play in bands as a kid?
I did. I played in some garage bands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had different names like the Soulful Six and Stained Glass and the Hallucinations. It's during that psychedelic period.
Oh, the Soulful Six. Did you have 6 members?
Well, that's why we call it Soulful Six. And
of course.
We had a Puerto Rican lead singer, and we did one James Brown song.
What song?
I Feel Good.
Of course.
And the rest of the songs were songs like Windy and, the Young Rascals songs.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty soulful stuff, I guess.
We dressed up and we played at a couple neighborhood parties, and some of the people went on to do quite well, Some of them became the Beatles.
Wow, that's quite impressive.
Yeah.
The Soulfuls, did you guys have matching uniforms?
No, but at one point we all had Nehru jackets.
Oh, okay.
But that was for the Hallucinations.
Oh, now what was it? What was the order of the bands, by the way? What graduated to what?
Well, it was the Stained Glass.
Uh-huh.
And then it became the Hallucinations. And then it was the Soulful Six.
Now, how many original members from Stained Glass made it all the way to the Soulful Six?
There was one original member, and that was me.
Did you sing at all, or just play guitar?
I played a 4-pickup Kimberly guitar from Sears. It weighed about 80 pounds.
Wow.
And it's funny you should ask that because I was just reunited with that guitar last year. I moved out of that neighborhood, and I forgot what happened. It's funny when you move as a kid, how you lose things. I guess it stays at home and somehow. But it ended up at my friend's, he played the organ in the band, at his father's house. And when his father died, he was cleaning out his house, and he came across my guitar and said, "Hey, do you want your guitar?" And I said, "Sure," and he sent it to me. And it arrived on my doorstep one day. I opened it up, and I had just a flood of memories coming back, and it's hanging on my wall to this day. God,
that's funny that he actually remembered it was your guitar, and was it that distinctive?
Yeah, it was. It looked like a surfboard.
Pretty big, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty big.
Wow. Well, Kevin, I know you got a bunch of these to do, and we'll see you on the 16th. The Magic. Have you played the bag before?
No, I haven't. I heard it's a really great club, though.
It is. It's really cool. I think for stand-up, stand-up is probably the best thing that happens there. I mean, I love seeing a band in a small room like that, but I think the stand-up is fantastic there. You'll like it a lot.
I'm so excited about it. I can't wait. I love doing stand-up. In a room like that, it's just really is the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you'll really dig it. Now, are you doing like Chicago and Cleveland and stuff like that along the way?
No, in fact, I'm going to Grand Rapids.
Oh, okay.
For the Laugh Fest out there. It's a 10-day Laugh Fest, and I'm going to be with Martin Short at a theater there.
Oh, damn, man. Why can't Martin be here, too?
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're the bigger market, for crying out loud.
I'm telling you, I'll have to talk to him when I get there. Maybe we can go back in time.
God, he's funny, too. Do you guys do stuff together often?
Once in a while we do stuff together. He lives right around the corner from me, so I see him once in a while. But he is truly one of the funniest people around.
Yeah, he seems so damn funny. God, I saw him with Bill Maher a while ago, and I swear, half the conversation was so inside, and yet I found myself laughing my ass off because I could sort of tell what they were talking about. Amongst the subjects was, for example, prostitutes. And I think Bill was being accused of having a fondness for them, and there was some really heavy laughter. It was very funny. But, yeah, he's great, definitely. Well, hey, we'll take you alone or with Short or whatever, Kevin, and look forward to that the 16th at the Bag. And thanks for the time.
My pleasure. We'll see you guys soon.
Okay, man. Thanks again. See you.
Okay, man.
.54 at the Riff. Trudy's coming up in a second. I got some breaking news, and it's not the good kind. Not the most breaking news is the good kind. This is the definitely very bad kind. Oh, boy. Hate this. Two helicopters collided in